we're all here today because all of us are connected by the work that our organizing does to defeat imperialism from all sides, right? And FTP exists as an organization to sustain BIPOC organizers who are doing that work to defeat imperialism and colonialism and all systems of oppression. Yeah, there's a very small fraction of organizers who actually are paid for this work, right? And so FTP was created to resist the burnout in BIPOC organizers and to resist the terror and criminalization of organizers that we're seeing more and more often. There's so many, even for the small fraction of people who are paid for this work, they're typically more privileged white people who really have a whole monolith in the nonprofit industrial complex. And so I just want to kind of reassure, or I can't find the word. Yes, there we go, thank you. Set the record straight for why we're all here today, why we're all connected to this work. Woo, FTP, the best acronym ever. So now up next we have Ganesha Gold Buffalo. Ganesha is a disabled Afro-Indigenous community healer and matriarch, educator, national organizer, transdisciplinary performance artist, and GJL Program Director, leading the organization's SafeHouse program, community and corporate training, and more. Hailing from Tennessee, currently residing in Florida and operating out of Seattle, Ganesha centers radical care and hospitality in everything that she does, from the stage, studio, classroom, street, and conference room. Ganesha's drive stems from an ancestral calling to ignite the people with a hunger for reintegration from displacement and ethnocide, abolition of all colonial and neocolonial systems and systemic abuses, sex worker advocacy, food and land sovereignty, environmental justice, youth protections, by and for community security initiatives, and equitable resource building and redistribution via ceremony and ancestral communion. Please welcome Ganesha! Give it up!
Siol Nigada. I'm Ganesha Gold Buffalo, her, she pronouns. I serve as the Program Director at Gender Justice League. I'm so honored to be invited back for another year at this fundraiser, as the community-focused and driven work of For the People and their FTPOs is so close to my heart. At Gender Justice League, we envision a country where two-spirited, trans, and gender-diverse people can come together to create healthy, safe, and engaging ways of life that are free from discrimination, violence, or exclusion at the institutional, social, and interpersonal levels of our society, and where trans people are thriving and prosperous. This year in America alone, HRC tracked 568 anti-trans bills in 49 states. In response to this, we led a team of 60 trans people and allies to the Capitol in Olympia and met with 57 lawmakers in a very successful bid for gender-affirming care inclusion for the state. Most of these laws targeted and blocked gender-affirming care for youth. We had to fight hard against droves of organized, ultra-conservative resistance, spouting rhetoric just like this and much worse at every hearing for every bill. What's more, we were up against major corporate opposition as well, including Amazon, Microsoft, and Facebook, who were fighting against citizens' rights to their own medical data. Luckily, all these bills we were fighting to pass, save for one, did indeed pass. Those were My Health, My Data, HB 1155, SB 5351, a historic first of its kind bill in the country that will help other states have a model to protect people's health data and privacy from nefarious use by tech giants and credit card companies, making name changes private and free, SB 5028, an also historic bill that will protect the privacy of trans and gender diverse peoples, as well as domestic violence and gender-based violence survivors across the state, while also increasing access to name changes in general by making them free. The SHIELD Law for Abortion and Gender Affirming Care, HB 1459, SB 5489, which my and our executive director, Danny Askini, had a direct hand in, which has set a precedent for other states across the U.S. to protect access to shield people seeking abortion or gender affirming care in Washington from any state funds or agencies participating in investigation in other states that might lead to prosecution, and makes it harder for other states to investigate and prosecute people for getting care here in Washington state. Yeah. Provider licensing protections, HB 1340, SB 5400, which creates protections for medical providers who provide abortions or gender affirming care in Washington state. It also ensures that doctors who perform these services in other states and subsequently lose their license can move to Washington state and still practice medicine in Washington state. Supporting youth and young adults healthcare services, SB 5599, which states that a shelter or runaway or homeless youth does not need to contact the youth's parents if there is a compelling reason not to, which includes a youth seeking protected health services such as abortion or gender affirming care. We received major backlash and resistance on this one the entire way. The bill that did not pass was Keep Our Care Act, HB 1263, SB 5241, which would have given the Attorney General power over big hospital mergers. Catholic hospital chains have bought up almost 80% of hospitals in Washington state and prevent both gender affirming care and abortions from happening in these hospitals.
It's bad.
These mergers limit care. Keep Our Care Act would have required these hospitals to continue to provide the care they already have. As you can see, all of the conservative outrage around children being threatened by the trans community and gender affirming care is not the issue here and has never been the true focus. The focus of conservatives and the far-right political groups is to effectively destroy the autonomy and safety of anyone that does not fit into their value system. Basically, anyone who isn't a non-intersex cis man. It has never been about the children. These bills that have passed benefit everyone. That is the heart of the work of the trans community. Even though we make up only a small percentage of the total population, we work tirelessly for the benefit of all communities.
Thank you.
These same groups are continuing to organize to dismantle the same rights mentioned above, as well as our right to free speech as a whole, with internet access restrictive bills popping up around the country. They are also getting more creative and tagging anti-gender affirming care clauses onto several policies coming out of DC and California. The Two-Spirit trans and gender diverse communities are needing your allyship and tangible support even more this next legislative session that insiders already say is poised to be the worst for our collective communities and our fight for bodily autonomy. Please support our organization and those like ours who are on the front lines of this historic struggle, as well as the 2STGD people in your immediate circles, and ensure they have what they need to be safeguarded, secure, and thriving at all times. The foundation of survival can and will be swiped from us at any moment. This is not a drill. Wado. If you would like more information on Gender Justice League and our work, please visit genderjusticeleague.org. And please feel free to contact any of us in our contact session. My email is there. My work number is there. You can make an appointment with me on my Calendly if you'd like to discuss in ways in which we can be supportive but also collaborate. We'd love to hear from you. Thank you.